We got a little covered new lawsuit involving the Epstein scandal and Donald Trump's cover-up of it. It's been filed by Arizona in federal court in the District of Columbia against MAGA Mike Johnson to force him finally to swear in Adelita Grijalva, representative from the Fighting 7th Congressional District in Arizona. And the suit brought by the Arizona Attorney General, Kris is to compel MAGA Mike Johnson to swear her in. What's the link to Epstein? She has already committed to being the 218th and final signature on the discharge petition that's necessary to get a bill sponsored by Ro Khanna and a Republican to get the Epstein file released by the Department of Justice and other departments by the government and have them delivered to Congress. It's got to go through the House first with a House vote. It's been blocked in a committee. This discharge petition will get it out of committee. Then it goes up to the Senate. We'll see what happens from there. But this suit for mandamus to force MAGA Mike to swear her in during the government shutdown is important. And we just had an interview on the MeidasTouch network led by my podcast partner, Ben Meiselas, of Kris about the filing almost in real time. By the way, I'm going to have the pleasure of interviewing Kris along with about 10 other attorneys general when they all get together in the great state of Arizona in November for the Democratic Attorney General Conference. But here, for now, is the interview about the new lawsuit from a newsmaker who's in the trenches, Kris. Here's the interview.
I want to bring in Arizona Attorney General Kris, who filed this lawsuit on behalf of Adelita Grijalva, and Grijalva is also one of the plaintiffs in this case. Attorney General talk to us about this lawsuit that was just filed.
Well, we just had to sue, the House of Representatives. Speaker Johnson has refused, as you know, to swear in Adelita Grijalva, who is the duly elected member of Congress from the 7th District in Arizona. We have 813,000 Arizonans who are being taxed without representation. As you know, we fought a revolutionary war over that issue. And Speaker Johnson has no right, we allege in this lawsuit, to deny her seat in Congress. It's been 4 weeks since she was elected. And we're asking a judge to declare that if Johnson won't swear her in and won't do his job, that someone else, like a judge or a notary, who has the power to swear people in, can do it, and then she would become a member of Congress.
Talk to us about the efforts to try to avoid this or to resolve this through normal channels. And you gave multiple warnings to Mike Johnson. Let's just do this the right way. We don't want to have to be forced as the state to sue. It also is just, you're not swearing in somebody. It's a bad look for the House of Representatives as a body, but he ignored the warnings and you said time's up.
Yeah, exactly. It's a terrible look for him and for them. And, he gave a half a dozen different reasons for why he wasn't swearing her in. At first he said, well, he'd swear her in at any time. And then he said, well, no, we can't do it because we're in a pro forma session. And then he said, well, we'll do it when there's more pomp and circumstance. We just want him to do it. And there's no legitimate reason that he's not doing it, except, of course, the fact that she has said she'll be the last vote on the Epstein files discharge petition. I suppose that's one reason. It's not a legitimate one. It's not a constitutional one, and it violates the law. So it's a pretty dangerous precedent that would be set if we didn't file this lawsuit and if we allowed him to continue to deny the people of Arizona our full delegation in Congress. And so that's why we felt like we had to. But you're right. I sent him a letter. I made comments through the media saying, let's just do this. It's my understanding that Adelita is actually in Washington, D.C. right now. And so he could walk right over to her office and swear her in.
Talk about the next steps. Lawsuits filed in the federal court in District of Columbia on behalf of the state of Arizona and Adelita Grijalva. Does it get fast tracked? How do we expedite this process so it doesn't get on one of these 30 days, 30 days, 30 days? Because there are real issues. It's taxation without representation, and we're in a government shutdown. So constituents need to access their congresswoman.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. So we're going to be really cognizant of the time and, the fact that we would like this to obviously be resolved by a judge as quickly as possible. So we'll be, following this very closely. We've asked for a declaratory judgment in DC. We think that was the right place to do it. And we think we've sued the right entities and people to avoid any unnecessary delays. But yeah, I mean, we have a member of Congress here, or someone who should be already sworn in, who can't help people here with the flooding issues we've had in her district, who is unable to help people with their veterans benefits, who's unable to help people with their Social Security benefits. She can't even get an email address. They've given her an empty office, but it's time for them to swear her in. It's been more than 4 weeks since she was elected with, by the way, more than 70% of the vote. This is outrageous, and it really does set a dangerous precedent going forward.
One of the things that I like that you did in this lawsuit is you anticipated the arguments that Mike Johnson's likely going to make, where he tries to cite, the Pelosi precedent was this. There's a footnote where you said it's not even comparable. Like, you're just making things up. That wasn't a Pelosi precedent. Never before, ever, was there a situation where the speaker just outright refused. In the Pelosi examples, they were collaboratively working with the member of what's the best day for you.
Yes.
And I think that member was like, my family can all make it together on this date, so I'd like it on this date. So he goes from taking like things that were done collaboratively to then weaponizing it as though and by the way, even taking that, we're already well past that. I mean, is his game plan just to like forever never swear her in? It's like a bizarre, he's not thinking this through. It's just strange.
Exactly. You have to wonder, based on the fact what you just said, which we're already beyond the amount of time that it took in that so-called Pelosi principle or example. And again, that was somebody who they had determined a date. That was the date that the member of Congress had chosen. And so, he's just not telling the truth. Mike Johnson is lying to the people of America. Clearly, I mean, this is a guy, remember, who swore in 2 Republican members of Congress lickety split. And that was in May, in exactly the same circumstances where, they had been in a pro forma session. We've been through, I think, multiple pro forma sessions at this point. And, the speaker could swear her in right now if he wanted to. He just refuses to do it. And that violates the law.
Before we go, anything else that you think the people need to know or the Arizonans need to know? I mean, you're fighting for an important principle here that is important for Congresswoman Grijalva. But frankly, whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, an independent, I mean, this should be something that is non-controversial.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that up. And this is a district that does have Republicans, independents, and Democrats in it. And so we have people of all political parties who are unrepresented right now in Congress. Again, taxation without representation. And, we wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be filing this lawsuit if A, I wasn't serious about it, and B, we didn't have people in Arizona who are being actively harmed. We do have people in Arizona who are being actively harmed by Mike Johnson playing politics and trying to, apparently protect the Epstein files. That's not okay. And we're going to fight as hard as we can to put an end to it and to get Adelita Grijalva sworn in.
Attorney General Kris Mayes from Arizona. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, man.
Welcome back. I try to make Legal AF and the YouTube channel one-stop shopping for all that you need at the intersection of law and politics, under one pane of glass, as they say. Original reporting, commentary, legal analysis, 12 different commentators right here, 10 new videos a day. Sometimes I spot something over on our sister or brother channel, the MeidasTouch that I think the audience would find interesting. I update it, bring it back here, and show it to you just like we did with the Kris Mayes interview. We're trying hard to bring all the information at the intersection of law and politics that you need. Oral arguments at the Supreme Court and other courts that matter, we have them up under the live tab. A group of lawyers or judges getting together at the top of their field to oppose the Trump administration, we bring it to you here under the live reporting tab. Newsmakers who are in the trenches, immigrant rights advocates who are fighting hard and raising money and are in the courtrooms, Democracy Forward, and all that they're doing with their 90 cases. Attorneys general like Kris Mayes and Rob Bonta, who I had the pleasure and honor to interview during No King's Day. Rob Bonta, we have them all here on Legal AF. All we ask for you is to help defend us against the attacks of the Trump administration, against MeidasTouch and Legal AF. Free subscribe here on Legal AF YouTube channel. Come out, hit the button. You may have thought you did it, but you didn't do it. Hit that button. No outside investors, just us, just the two of us. And then we've got Legal AF YouTube channel, Legal AF Substack and Substack Lives, which I do regularly. That's $6.77 a month. Take a moment, hit the subscribe button there, become a paid member, and now we're cooking with gas, as my late grandfather would say. So until my next report, I'm Michael Popok. Can't get your fill of Legal AF? Me neither. That's why we formed the Legal AF Substack. Every time we mention something in a hot take, whether it's a court filing or a oral argument, come over to the Substack. You'll find the court filing and the oral argument there, including a daily roundup that I do called, wait for it, Morning AF. What else? All the other contributors from Legal AF are there as well. We got some new reporting. We got interviews. We got ad-free versions of the podcast and hot takes. Where? Legal AF on Substack. Come over now to free subscribe.